Hi, I'm Juanita Bard. I'm on Jerry Royce Live.
This is Brandon Royce, and you're listening to Jerry Royce Live worldwide on PositivePower21.org.
This is Jess Patrick, and you're listening to Jerry Royce Live.
Hi, everyone. This is T-Spank, and I'm listening to Jerry Royce Live worldwide.
What's up, everybody? This is Erica King, and I'm here with Jerry Royce Live.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Jerry Royce Live worldwide on PositivePower21.org and Spreaker Radio. That's right, /PositivePower21. You looking for good listening, clean talk, clean music, clean radio? Well, you tune in to PositivePower21.org with me, Jerry Royce Live worldwide.
Tuesday, which means it's time for the Flex Zone. Welcome back, fellas. Welcome to the Flex Zone. Tonight's episode is all about Week 2 in the NFL, and we conclude with our Week 3 picks. This is the only show we can get you sports how you want it, when you need it. I'm your host, Mikel Ramos, and I welcome back the usual suspects as every night. Raj, D, Byron, Cavante,
hello,
Dre, hello.
What it is?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Joining us is a very, 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 very special guest, Russ DeLynn, statistician for ESPN, CBS, and Fox. Hello. Welcome.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, man, you are the man. I just want you to know that. That's all.
You're that guy.
I wouldn't say that. Why would I be the man?
You're the man.
But is he ready for the Flex Zone, though?
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
There you go.
Hey, man, if he's been on CBS and ESPN, I think he can do it. I think he's fine with us.
All right, let's go right into it, shall we? Week 2. Week freaking 2. If you thought Week 1 was exciting, Week 2 was good in its own right. Let's start with Thursday night, shall we? The Broncos, they go to Arrowhead. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs 31-24. Let's start in Denver, shall we? Peyton Manning getting back to himself. 26 of 45, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Demaryius Thomas, 8 receptions for 116 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, 8 receptions for 87 yards for 2 touchdowns. Broncos defense. Shout out to Wade Phillips because, he's getting it done. He gets it done again. Bradley Roby returns Jamal Charles fumble for 21 yards for a touchdown with 27 seconds remaining. Denver wins 13th straight division road game, breaking a tie with the 49ers for most in NFL history. Manning, 14-1 in his career against the Chiefs. Alex Smith, somebody's boy in here, right? 16 of 25, 191 yards, 2 interceptions. Jamal Charles, 21 carries, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, nothing on the ground, 4 carries, 57 yards. We talk about Russell Wilson, people, managing an offense. Maybe this is the time in Manning's career when the roles have changed at this point. And are you buying the Chiefs? No. Russ, we'll start with you.
Am I buying the Chiefs? No, I'm not going to buy the Chiefs. But what I am going to do is buy the Denver defense. Because if you look at the first 2 games of the Denver Broncos, they held the Baltimore Ravens without a touchdown. And in the second game against the Kansas City Chiefs, who won in the game, it was their defense picking up that fumble with couple seconds left in the game to run back to win it. If you're going to win a Super Bowl, you got to get some breaks, and that is one heck of a break that they had. If you look at the Baltimore Ravens a couple of years ago, they converted a 4th and 29. If they don't convert that 4th and 29 in San Diego, they actually don't make the playoffs. But because they did, that got them into the playoffs, and they wound up winning a Super Bowl that year because the ball bounced their way. Right now, it looks like that the Denver Broncos ball is bouncing their way.
The Broncos. Let's talk about the Broncos, especially Peyton Manning. A lot of people said that he wasn't himself last game. Is this as close to a Peyton Manning game as we seen, or we still got a season left to go? Cravante, you talk about him as being the regular season champ. We still got a long way to go, right?
Of course, yeah, definitely. But he's the best regular season quarterback ever.
Ouch.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say that because when it comes to the playoffs, he just doesn't perform like he used to. But with this defense. Oh, man, they got a chance. They got a good chance to win the Super Bowl. If this defense stays healthy and stays together, yeah, they got a good chance to win the Super Bowl.
So he has a chance to ride on the sunset with
yes,
one more.
Yes, and I really like him to do so.
If he doesn't, what time is it?
Oh, it's time to go.
Time to go.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely time to go, man. Just please get your 5 years ready. Get your Hall of Fame speech ready. because he'll definitely be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's just prolonging the process.
I think he's got another possible year left.
You think so?
I really think it depends on how this season goes. I mean, some people are talking about the end for him, but I think he's got another season. It really depends to me on how this season plays out.
Byron, I asked you, the Chiefs. What's going on in Kansas City?
I think I said before the season, Alex Smith, and it wasn't his fault he lost his game, but I think that you saw that not having the ability to make consistent throws down the field, a lot of checkdowns, that can be credited to Andy Reid's offensive philosophy. But I just think when you look at this team, it's going to be their up and their down is going to be Alex Smith. As you saw in week 1, he played well, a lot of short checkdowns. But when you take away Travis Kelce and you can stack the box against Jamal Charles and put a hat on the ball, it's going to be tough for them. And their defense is very good, but it's going to take some points to score. And they have trouble. And I don't think a receiver still hasn't caught a touchdown, right?
Nope.
That's correct.
No,
they have not.
Nope. So
Jeremy Maclin, nothing on the ground. 4 carries, 57 yards. Are we kind of shocked at not the impact that he's instantly had in Kansas City, or is this just a wait-and-see type of thing? Will he eventually fit in that offense? Or anybody?
Well, the Chiefs, I mean, their offense is usually not centered around the wide receiver, but I thought Maclin would do better than what he's doing right now. But if Alex Smith, like Cavante and Byron were saying, if he can't get the ball down the field, it's going to be a long games for them. Long games for them. Do anybody even know the second wide receiver, by the way, for the Chiefs?
No.
Somebody?
They don't have a second wide receiver.
Jamal Charles. There we go.
But Jamal Charles got to stop fumbling the football in key moments. I mean, he fumbled in the first quarter. That's fine, but
it's not fine. That is not fine.
It's in the first quarter.
For him to be an elite running back, that is not fine.
That's not
21 yards, people.
But cost me fantasy points.
Is that all we still care about? It's always
fantasy.
It always goes back to fantasy.
Amen.
And moving on, we got to go to the main event. Well, at least this should have been Sunday Night Football. The Patriots. The score doesn't really exemplify what really happened because it really wasn't this close. But they demolished, in a sense, the Buffalo Bills 40-32. Pats 2-0. They look like straight killers out here. Scored 3 touchdowns in less than 6 minutes between the first and second quarter and held down a 19-point fourth quarter rally by the Bills. Tom Brady, number 12, as immaculate as he is, 38 of 59, 466 yards, count them, 3 touchdowns. 15-year dominance over the Bills. Brady, he's 24-3 against Buffalo, while the Pats themselves are now 27-3 in the past 30 games against AFC East rivals. Gronk, 7 receptions, 113 yards for 1 touchdown. Julian Edelman, he has been a different guy since Cam Chancellor put it on him. 11 catches, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, Deion Lewis wasn't bad on the ground. 40 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown, they added 6 catches for 98 yards. Talk about bursting Rex Ryan's chops, shall we? Bills' offense totally different from last week. Bills' defense, on the other hand, allowed 507 yards of offense and 28 first downs. Tyrod Taylor, 23 out of 30, 242 yards, 3 touchdowns. Why was this the matchup? Wasn't this the matchup everyone thought it was going to be?
Because y'all wanted to crown him. What does my man say? If you want to crown him, then crown him.
You want to crown him? Crown us a right.
Y'all did it too early, man. I mean, it's still a long season, and I told y'all Tom Brady would be motivated. I tried to tell y'all he is on a different level. When Tom Brady,
he should have a court case every year.
Maybe,
because
but whenever it's some type of gate against Tom Brady, he just goes into another level, and we're seeing Tom Brady destined. It seems like to go make another Super Bowl run.
Rex Ryan made a comment. He made a lot of comments about Gronk, but in his ending conference, Russ, I asked you, he talked about Bill Belichick basically out-coaching him. Did he or did he not? Because why talk all that junk if you can't back it up? Are you there? Russ?
Oh, sorry, is that a question? I can answer that question.
That was for you.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was for me. Did he or did he not out-coach him? There's no doubt about it that Bill Belichick out-coached Rex Ryan. I was fortunate enough to be in Buffalo week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts, and Rex Ryan had that team ready to rock and roll. Now, again, I've worked plenty of games in Buffalo, and that is as raucous as a crowd as I've ever seen. The one thing that they did, the Bills did, was that they came out, and the one thing that was never mentioned in the media was the punter for the Bills. The Indianapolis Colts, 3 of their first 4 drives started inside their 10-yard line. And that's really hard to put together a 95 or 96-yard drive. True. The Bills had great field position that entire game, and they basically came out and punched the Indianapolis Colts right in the face. And I think that gave the Bills a lot of confidence, almost too much confidence against the New England Patriots to go against Tom Brady. Now, it's funny about the New England Patriots. I haven't heard anybody complain about the balls being deflated the first 2 games this year. Has anybody heard anything like that?
No.
Tom Brady's pulling up Hall of Fame numbers in his first 2 games, and I don't think the football is the issue.
Well, 466 yards, I don't think that's luck, is it?
Almost 500 yards.
So. I mean, I just can y'all just agree with me that he's the best quarterback in football? I mean, I hear Aaron Rodgers and all these other guys.
They're right with each other.
Be respectful to Aaron Rodgers.
Just say he's the best.
They're right there.
He's the best, and he gets it done. And think about Brady's last 3 or 4 fourth quarters. You have the second half against Indianapolis, just derailed them. The fourth quarter Super Bowl against Seattle, the come from behind against one of the greatest defenses I've seen in my lifetime. Then week 1 against the Steelers, lighting them up after the Deflategate controversy. Then in Buffalo, putting up nearly 500 yards against one of the best defenses I think we all agree in the league, and Rex Ryan, who has played well against Brady, and they're showing they're on a clear path to get right back to the Super Bowl.
Well, that defense didn't look good. 507 yards of offense they allowed, 28 first downs.
You got to blame Rex Ryan on that, though.
But the Bills.
You think we not?
Yeah.
Did this game really exploit the Bills, or is this just showing who they really are?
It didn't really exploit them. It's not really showing. I mean, it's only a game. But Rex Ryan didn't help his case when he was running his mouth throughout the week, and then.
So that's just a casualty of playing the Patriots.
Well, yes, when you run your mouth like that and you give Bill Belichick something to look forward to, it is a casualty when you're playing the Patriots.
Men possessed the Patriots. Super Bowl champions, or this is just the beginning of what might be a decline, or we don't know.
Hey, they on the road to it, man. They get home field again. They might be back.
Oh, they're going to get it.
It's going to be.
There's no question.
They get home field again. They might be back in it.
But watch out for the Jets, though. Watch out for the Jets.
That will be fun. I don't know when they play, but they always play each other well.
Yeah, that should be fun.
So we're no longer taking the Bills seriously anymore.
No. Bills are still a postseason
It's
team.
only one game.
And this week, I think we're going to talk about it, but they go to Miami, so the AFC East each week is going to be fun to watch.
And that's a big game.
Like Raj said, it's only one game.
It's only one game.
Man, Rob Gronkowski is a beast.
Yes, he is.
Gronk is a beast.
What did I call him? The best player in football.
Undeniably unguardable.
And he owns his own party boat.
How can if you could build the blueprint of how to guard Gronk, what would it be?
There is none.
Double him at the line.
And you got to give Rex credit.
He
tried everything you could. Corner, safeties, linebackers, double coverage, brackets. Jamming him at the line. It just didn't work. And you see that Gronk is a man amongst NFL boys.
So he basically has to frustrate himself.
Or he gets hurt. If he gets hurt, but that's
low.
a blip.
Go low.
And moving forward, another notable game, the Falcons beat the New York Giants 24-20. Julio.
That's my dog.
Talk about unstoppable.
That's my dog.
Caught a 37-yard pass from Matt Ryan to set up a Devonta Freeman's go-ahead 2-yard touchdown run with 1:14 remaining to take that game over the Giants. Julio ties club record with 13 receptions, which was 135 yards. Matt Ryan 30 for 46, 363 yards, 1 touchdown. Another tough loss for the Giants. I don't know what's going on with them in the fourth quarter. They blew a 20-10 fourth quarter lead. Eli Manning, 27 of 40, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns. Julio Jones wins the best wide receiver battle at this point, but Odell Beckham Jr. wasn't far behind. He's still there, people. 7 receptions for 146 yards, 1 touchdown. Set an NFL mark with 1,495 yards in 14 games of his career. This man is still on fire. What's up with these late meltdowns in New York? Because they got to get this together.
Man, oh man, New York gave away 2 back-to-back games.
First team in NFL history to do that.
They had
10-point lead.
10-point lead, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, man, they had the Cowboys dead to donuts until the very end, and the Falcons. And it was at home. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I need one more meltdown on Thursday night, though.
Please do so.
That's all I need.
On Thursday.
The thing is, like they should really be 2-0 instead of 0-2.
Nobody was talking about the Giants.
They very well could.
I was talking about them actually
being
competitive. I actually like that team offensively.
But you know what? In both games, both defenses let them down. And what did I tell y'all? That was going to be
That's
the
the
Giants'
Achilles
Achilles heel.
And also not having a running game either really hurts them.
There was something with Sean Jennings outside of running his mouth. He hasn't been effective.
And what about Shane Vereen? He was supposed to be a safety valve for Eli. I haven't really seen much of him either.
What's up,
Man, when it's just Eli and Odell Beckham, they're beatable.
So they need Victor. It's obvious.
Yes.
I mean,
they need an offensive line first and foremost.
But offensively, they seem to be straight. It's just the defense part.
Nah, the offensive line, Eli has been moving.
It's just that Odell's greatness covers a multitude of sins in a sense because he does so much that you really don't see all the time, but he just is able to break a game with one play like you saw in that game.
Russ, I want to ask you this first, and then everybody else can follow. Atlanta. Do we believe in Atlanta? And they say, is it with Julio there's a way? Because is it time for Atlanta to finally find some supremacy in his league?
Well, there's no doubt about it. I'm a believer in the Atlanta Falcons. I think what they've done over the last couple of years, they've gotten to the playoffs. Matt Ryan has not been able to get over the hurdle, but boy, are they off to a great start. As long as Julio Jones, one of you mentioned, being healthy is a clear factor in winning and success. So as long as guys like Julio Jones, Matt Ryan stay healthy, they have a shot to win. I could not tell you. I've been a stats guy in the network for 23 years, and I can't tell you who the backup quarterback is for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know. Does anybody know who the backup is?
I have no clue.
So that's my
T.J. Yates.
You said to the Atlanta
It's
Falcons?
T.J. Yates.
It's Devontae Freeman, right?
That's the running back.
He's
running back.
I think it's T.J. Yates. I think.
Oh, man.
All right, so you understand my point. My point
Right,
is that
exactly.
nobody knows who the backup is for the Atlanta Falcons. So as long as Matt Ryan stays healthy and Julio Jones stays healthy, that team is going to put up some numbers this year.
Let's assess Matt Ryan a little bit. Some people on the I don't like him fence. Some people on the I'm with him fence. Why is there such a thin line when it comes to Matt Ryan?
I think it comes down to the playoff wins. He hasn't been able to get over the hump on the playoff wins. I mean, he's a very successful regular season quarterback. His numbers are extremely comparable to Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl under his belt. And, the bottom line is that Matt Ryan can get you to the playoffs, but can he get over the hump? That seems to be the biggest question. This year, the Atlanta Falcons, a lot of media is expecting them to go to the playoffs, but the question is, can they get a home first-round game and make it to the NFC Championship game?
If they don't, is this a disappointment for the season?
I don't know if it'll be a disappointment, but I'm telling you that there's a lot of people in Atlanta that are expecting that team to go far into the playoffs. And if they don't get there, then yes. If they don't make the playoffs, it would be a disappointment. But as long as they get to the tournament at the end of the season, everybody's record starts at 0-0.
Let's move on, shall we? Now, this next game, realistically speaking, we all know what should have realistically happened, but I really don't care. This is great. The Redskins beat the Rams 24-10. Revamp D, great running, big game for the rookie, Cravante, your boy. Matt Jones on the ground, 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins. Now I'm gonna use these words a little gingerly.
You be nice.
He
played well.
You be very respectful.
He was efficient. And turnover free in this one.
He was good.
That is beautiful.
23 of 27, 203 yards, 1 touchdown. Cousins did not throw an interception. Last week he threw 2, which gave him 21 and 15 starts. The ground attack worked. Alfred Morris. How are we forgetting about Alfred Morris? And Jones helped.
He ain't been forgotten. He has not been forgotten.
Together, they helped the Skins outrush the Rams 182-67. Morris, 18 carries for 59 yards. Redskins D contributed to a scoreless Rams team at halftime, and first time they've shut out a team in the first half since October 2nd of 2011, and also against the Rams themselves. Nick Foles, 17 of 32 for 150 yards. They beat the Seahawks last week, but now are 2-15 since 2005 in regular season games following a game against the Seahawks.
That's
Progress made in D.C. How we like it.
Big time, big time. I was already an
Bang,
advocate of our defense extremely better. Y'all seen how bad our secondary was last year.
Yeah.
Bringing in Chris Culliver, bringing in Deshaun Golston was huge, and Deshaun Golston is the captain. He's been voted the defensive captain of the whole defense.
Well,
Can we take a step back? Can we take a look back? Can you ever envision, rest in peace, Sean Taylor in this era still playing?
Of course, absolutely, man, because he's a big guy, but he runs like a cornerback. And, of course, you already know he brings the boom. So he's like a bigger Cam Chancellor. And I believe, wasn't Cam Chancellor the one that looked up to him?
Yep, I believe so.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
Byron, your assessment of D.C., you're pretty critical of them. And I really want to ask you about St. Louis. They're getting some respect, but can they afford to lose games like this? Because in the caliber, if they want to get respect, D.C. is a game you should typically win, right?
It is a game they should have won. I think DeMar's called them the Lambs because that's what they look like. Because you showed the moment was a little bit too big for them. They weren't ready to take that next step. But I still believe in this team. I picked them to be a wild card. And I think the NFC West is not going to be a cakewalk. We know Arizona's 2-0, but the Rams are right there 1-1. We know they play Seattle well. So that division will be close all year. The defense will be legit. Aaron Donald and the crew. And I think that Nick Foles is a solid option for them. And I like Jeff Fisher. So they'll be all right. And they have a big game this week against the Steelers.
And Todd Gurley will be back soon.
Todd will
and offense
Ooh,
I
can't wait for that one.
I'm so glad
But I want to give a shout-out to the Redskins offensive line. It has helped out a lot. Sheriff, Trent Williams, Pro Bowler. And
my boy Morgan Moses on the right side.
Morgan Moses, yeah.
The biggest key for the Redskins winning this game, though, is running the football. Balance. Balance is the key for the Redskins. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Somewhere is RG3 cringing.
I hope Whoopi is taking notes.
He shouldn't be.
Should be taking notes.
Jordan Reed, he stays healthy. Man,
he was
that's
big
a big
time
threat.
as rookie,
And D-Jack come back next month.
So we'll have our own 1-2 punch.
The Redskins was
absolutely.
So this is progress in a division that obviously isn't what it seems, right?
Man, this division is wide
Wow,
open. It just got wide open like last night. Like
yeah, it did.
Russ,
like a couple nights ago.
Russ, I have to ask you, with all the controversy going on in D.C., is it about time that the smoke clears a bit?
Well, let me just say this about the Washington Redskins. If they play like they did last week, in a couple of weeks, let's say they put 3 or 4 wins in a row, what do you do with Robert Griffin III? Do you trade him?
See ya, Whoopi.
Come on,
that
you
if
be
the Redskins
respectful.
They start 4-1 or 5-1. I guarantee you, they try to dump Robert Griffin III. I mean, that just goes to show you that the Redskins will be rolling, and you got to dump some salary. So why not dump him?
I did hear some rumors that Robert could be looking to Big D.
Man, if he don't stay
I'm just
out that
saying.
uniform,
I
heard it, but I ain't gonna
But then
happen
again, why
this
wouldn't
season.
you go to that uniform? Because you're going to go to a team that you're going to play.
Hey, man, you're not happy here.
Stranger
By all
things have
means,
been
by all
I'm
means,
gonna miss
go
you,
elsewhere.
man. I'm gonna miss you. Okay, we're gonna move on.
That doesn't sound like that doesn't sound too.
I am very excited
believable.
I am
That sounds
very
believable.
excited about this game.
Bye, Felicia.
I was walking down the street Monday morning, just enjoying the fresh air. This is great for once.
I'm glad you got a
This is great.
smile on your face about the Redskins.
Man, what?
It's been a while.
It's been a
while.
long time
It's been a
coming,
while.
boy.
Devontae, I'm
Long time
happy
coming.
for you. Until she shows some respect,
There's not some one instance that
Respect
did
for
clock
who?
right twice.
we're not going to get into that.
We're gonna get.
Whoa.
Wait till you hear what I have to say about them. I'm gonna have something nice to say.
A dead clock is
wait
right
till-
twice a day.
And that's your
One
same
day.
line every line.
Sounds
Because
Your
it-
pussies
And so are
and
the
your
Eagles
poshy.
even a clock?
Because
No,
it
we
look,
don't
it just happened.
down
Are
with
the
Chip
Eagles
Kelly's
even a clock?
head. Why
it
don't
just,
you?
It just happened one
Let's
game.
go. Let's go back.
Congrats.
Let's go back. Let's talk about his other team. Anyway,
Sure.
let's move on to the Ravens, shall we? This one, all of us in this town didn't quite understand it. There wasn't no purple sidewalks when I work Monday morning. They lose to the Raiders 37. That scored 37-33. Derek Carr bouncing back from a critical mistake. He threw an interception, but guess what? He would throw a touchdown pass to seal the victory. An interception would bounce back through a 12-yard TD pass to Seth Roberts with 26 seconds. 7 for 9 for 65 yards on the winning drive. Career high in the air, 351 yards and 3 touchdowns. Last week, of course, he was knocked out of the season opener with an injured throwing hand. Amari Cooper, people. 7 receptions for 109 yards, 1 touchdown. The Super Bowl predicted Ravens are now 0-2. First time since 2005. The tale of 2 seconds in each of these last couple of games. Last week, losing to Denver, it was 28 seconds now. This week, it was 26. Flacco, 384 yards. He still was effective in the air, people. 2 TDs, but missed an open, well, I don't know if it was that wide open, but an open pass to Steve Smith Sr. in the end zone, which contributed to them having to settle for a field goal, which gave the Oakland Raiders their winning drive ammo. Flacco also throws late interception. Ravens played first game in nearly 17 years without Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, or Terrell Suggs, who is out for the season with the torn Achilles, of course. Non-typical Ravens defense, we got to get into that too, because they're not looking complete. The Raiders gained 448 yards, more than twice allowed to Peyton Manning last week, and winning drive by the Raiders seemed to go non-interrupted. Lastly, Justin Forsett, 15 carries for 68 yards. What the heck? Is it okay? You guys always seem to remain cool in Ravens Nation, but is it time to press the panic button in Baltimore University?
Yes, it's time to press the panic button. They have Cincinnati next, and they have the Steelers on a Thursday night. This secondary really just disgusted me over the weekend. I mean, we brought in Kyle Arrington to be the third cornerback, to be that glue, and he's just lost on the field.
He's a system
Jimmy
guy.
Smith
He's a
is getting
system
burned. Webb is getting hurt. He can't keep up with anybody. And Kedrick Lewis is just looking like a deer in the headlights. It's sad. It's a sad day, man. And everybody wants to blame Joe Flacco, which I really don't understand. He had almost a career day.
You can't
blame him.
I mean,
and he didn't really even miss the pass to Steve Smith.
We just looked over it, but it could have been a better pass. It was there.
It
was
there.
It looked to me like it just went through his hands.
Got a tippy tap,
and that doesn't sound like Joe Flacco's fault.
But right now, the key, what they have to do is they have to come together. I mean, the defense got to play in one, and the offense got to play in one.
It's leadership, man. Who's the leader?
Without Terrell Suggs, there's a lack of leadership. And on the Ravens end,
honestly, I didn't even think Terrell Suggs was much of a leader.
I mean, when you come into camp,
I agree with you.
When you come into camp bad, I don't think you really
care. I mean, all right, I get what you're saying, but like Mikel was saying, we are in an era where it's been basically the whole Ravens career. You've had Suggs, Reed, Lewis.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just weird not to have Suggs there. And then the torch was really passed on to Suggs to carry that tradition of Ed Reed and a Ray Lewis. So without him, it really feels a void is really there with the Ravens defense. Right. And you don't have anybody to really back on. And this is the first time where the leader is on offense for the Ravens, with a Joe Flacco.
When was the last time that?
I hate to say this though, the team is without an identity. I'm not sure.
And you're right. And the thing is also, but you're saying it's time to press the panic button. It's not time yet. I really don't believe, even though they're 0-2. It's very possible.
Cincinnati is no joke.
No, and the Steelers won't be no joke either.
The Steelers ain't no joke.
But the thing is, I think the Ravens can still come back in this division.
Let me ask this question, Russ.
I don't think so. Not this year.
Russ, let me ask you this question. The Ravens are known for defense, obviously. I mean, you talk about guys like Ed Reed. You talk about guys like Terrell Suggs. Defense, but if they can't find a guy that gives them some type of motivation, obviously all their guys come from the motivation side, will they find the motivation this year? It's obvious that they need encouragement, right? Or is that the wrong statement to make?
I think more than anything what they need is a defensive leader. If you look at over the last 15 years, they've had that. They've had Ray Lewis as a defensive leader. They've had Terrell Suggs as a defensive leader. They're both out. Now, who steps up and does the trick?
So their defense...
It's really, really hard to say. I mean, I thought personally that, Jimmy Smith was going to stand up. He was their first-round pick a couple of years ago, but on, the Raiders' first possession, he got beat for a 68-yard touchdown. So it's hard to be a defensive leader when you get beat like that. And, the bottom line is I was in Oakland working that game. There was so much that went on in that game.
Dang, you've been everywhere.
It was unbelievable. Both quarterbacks had 30-plus completions. It's been 15 years since in an NFL game where two quarterbacks had at least 30 completions. And if you look at guys like Steve Smith, he had 10 receptions, the most since 2007 in his career. There was a lot of records. Joe Flacco was 5 yards away from his career high in yardage thrown. It was an all-offensive game. There was no defense. I don't even know if Derek Carr has to put his uniform in the laundry because he barely was touched. So
both quarterbacks were barely touched.
The Ravens defense needs to step up. They need a leader. There's not many games where the Ravens will play where they have one sack. Are you kidding me? The Ravens defense, there needs to be a leader that steps up and says, if we lose, it's my fault.
Well, I believe it's unparalleled when you said they gave up 448 yards to the Raiders. But Byron, your assessment's always a little different than what most would say in this group. Plus, defense kind of sort of preludes the offense. If the defense is motivated, the offense will be motivated. So Flacco had a good time, but who motivates Flacco? Who motivates Forsett? And let's give your take on it. 'Cause it's a little
I
different.
think I give credit actually to Mark Trestman. He actually changed his offensive game plan, throwing the ball more downfield. You think about it. You saw Tyler Farrell play well. Force had some good carries. Crockett Gilmore, 2 touchdowns, played well. I think him and Joe have a nice rapport. Steve Smith with his 10 catches, rewinding the hands of time. If you tell me this offense is going to put up 30-plus points a week, I'll be okay with that because you look at it and say, if I'm putting up 30-plus points a week, I'm going to win more games than I lose. I actually thought this West Coast trip starting out the year would be tough. Denver and Oakland had a chance to go 0-2. Unfortunately, I was right. I don't like being right on those kind of things. You have Cincinnati at home. I think it's a must-win. Then I think you go to Pittsburgh Thursday night. I did see this team starting out 1-3, but I think down the stretch, the last 12 games, they have a chance to possibly go 7-5, 8-4, and make a run at it. It's going to be tough. Like you said, you got to stop somebody on defense and get pressure. And hopefully Jason Badman or somebody can create
So it's
pressure.
not over.
And Jernigan's roughing the passer killed me because that play like that, you take
God.
4 or 5 steps. I literally go to the kitchen, make a sandwich, come back. This man is still pushing the quarterback. That's ridiculous.
Right.
So
it's not over, though.
No, it's definitely not over.
It's not over, but it has to begin Sunday.
And you can't trust in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh's defense. Can you trust in them as well? We'll see.
I have to ask this question. Oakland. Nobody thought that they would put up 30 points against the Ravens, but how do you assess their ability to bounce back from a loss as young as they are?
I think, first of all, Derek Carr was knocked out of that Cincinnati game last week.
It would have been a different game if he
So if him being back, he's an up-and-coming star. Amari Cooper is a star coming, folks. And with Crabtree, they just need a consistent running game, and I think they'll be fine offensively. And then defensively,
I'm
Mack,
worried about their secondary.
Yeah, that's secondary.
But if Alden Smith and Khalil Mack and Justin Tuck get going.
But on the Ravens tip, mighty quick, consistency. They haven't had it all training camp, preseason, and regular season long, even with Suggs in there. So
I mean, he came looking like he was just going to
Yeah,
eat a sandwich and then
Right.
play. Let's one last thing about the Raiders. How long does it take them to become a team that's threatening?
A few more years.
No. It takes them 1 year.
It's going to take one more year.
This year they'll win about 6 or 7 games.
One more year.
I think just because they're in the AFC, they're a couple pieces away.
Hey, listen, they're in the AFC West. And besides the Broncos,
right? They could be
they're
second
competitive.
place. You never
They're
know.
competitive.
They're competitive.
Remember, in
competitive.
Oakland, they're going to play tough. They're going to be tough. in
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So any given Sunday for this team. Don't sleep on them. Don't just think you're going to just win.
And Jack Del Rio is a good coach for that situation.
Let's move on. Cowboys beat the Philadelphia Eagles 20-10. Cowboys shut down DeMarco Murray, but the list of casualties in this win is big for them. Tony Romo joins Dez Bryant on the injured list. Dez already gone for 6 weeks. Foot injury, of course. Romo suffered similar injury as he did Week 7 of the 2010 season, which caused him to miss the rest of that season. I'm unsure. How do you pronounce that?
Clavicle.
There we go.
Collarbone.
Yeah,
yeah, thank you.
It wasn't collarbone. I don't know why they made it so
missing
far.
about 8 weeks for that one. Let's go on. Romo had 18, 27 for 195 yards. His predecessor, Brandon Weeden, would come in and will start. Of course, he's going to have to start. He's 5 for 16. He's 5 for 16 as a starter.
He probably start this week though.
He's going to start. 5 for 16 as a starter. 0-1 in time with the Cowboys. Finished 7 of 7 for 73 yards. Jason Witten 7 receptions for 56 yards. The woes in Philly continue. They're 0-2 now. Reigning NFL rushing champion DeMarco Murray. You had 2 yards rushing on 13 carries against his former team. Sam Bradford had 3 turnovers, including an interception in the end zone, 23 of 37 for him, 224 yards, 1 touchdown. Philadelphia had 21 total yards in the first half and finished with 226. Looking like they're about to compete for the number 1 draft pick rather than the team that was supposed to compete for the NFC crown with the Cowboys.
I'm about to rip you.
I'm
about to rip you.
People say I'm disrespectful. And, I'm going to say one thing. I stand corrected. Okay. I was wrong.
Okay. I'm not talking about the Cowboys. I'm talking about DeMarco Murray.
I'm saying I was wrong about that. That offensive line.
That line made him.
Unless they both, it's obvious, they both need each other. Granted. And until he can make that offensive line in Philly look like that offensive line,
line in Philly
look like the offensive line in Dallas, he's gonna forever look like Kobe until he rings ring number 4.
Money can't buy happiness, ladies and gentlemen.
However, McFadden and Randall, will never be what DeMarco Murray goes. I mean, you have the first 8 games, 100 yards, 12 plus game, 100 yards. They will never get, and if they're in these shoes now, without a Dez Bryant, okay, fine, you give Dez Bryant his money. Fine, he's worth it. Tony Romo goes down. You have nothing to fall back on. And
forget about Jason Witten
disrespectful. Oh, man, come on.
Oh,
Shoes,
yeah.
sprained
Oh,
ankles,
my God.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my God.
Giving that man $5 million was very disrespectful because guess what? If you still have him, you may not be as concerned about Big D.
I mean, but
listen,
Randall and
but
those
they
guys
knew-
still play well.
But I
gonna say,
stand
they knew what
corrected.
they
I
had.
was wrong.
And the thing about Randall that he brings to the table, he can catch. He's a legit
Are
receiver
you
out the
watching
backfield.
these things? Because I'm not watching any running in any of Cowboys
Long
games
Read
right
the
now.
stats, Cavante.
Long
Read the
John
stats.
Bar Chip
I'm
is
not
good.
feeling
That's
it.
Read it, Cavante.
I'm not feeling it.
Julius Randle, 18 attempts, 51 yards rushing. Darren McFadden,
12 straight games, 100 yards. Come on,
listen.
to that.
They don't need that.
They gave DeMarco Murray
You're
almost
asking-
500
They don't
touches.
need that. With the offensive line they have, Dez Bryant and Tony Romo, that's just a fluke.
What do you
that
have to
all
fall?
of
What do
them-
you have to fall back on? In
That's
this
fluke.
case,
That's
this wouldn't
fluke that your
we
top
wouldn't be
three,
concerned.
your top three stars get hurt. That's fluke.
And you still win
But
the
we
game.
And
still win.
they still won the game.
It's the freaking Eagles.
No.
That's
No.
That's fluke.
What are you
Like,
about to say?
no.
Because this is a very touchy subject for you. Because you are about to say something that means volumes for the Dallas Cowboys, but you need to say something that speaks volumes about the Eagles. So don't disrespect me for whatever comes out your mouth.
First of all, the Cowboys are my Super Bowl pick. Let's get that
They're
straight.
my Super Bowl pick.
But like Cavante said, how rare is it for
Well, it ain't rare now. It happened.
Your
It
star,
is rare, 'cause
your,
that'll
your-
happen one time.
Your
That don't
star
happen.
tight
It
end,
happen like that.
your star wide
Can you stop being
receiver,
disrespectful to us?
and your
That doesn't
star
happen.
and your star quarterback all go out.
I
but
already
yet,
admitted I was wrong. I mean, what else
but
you
yet,
want from me?
but yet your offensive line is still good.
But you're kinda
your
saying you're wrong
your
inside,
backup
I'm
your
right.
backup comes in and your backup does a decent job.
He
to
throws
get y'all,
seven
Still
for
doesn't
seven.
negate the fact
to
of
get
how
y'all-
I
to
feel
still
about
get-
DeMarco.
Please,
to
Drake.
still
Go ahead,
to
Drake.
still get you the W. Now, for you to have three of your powers on offense hurt, that's a rarity. Now, if the Dallas Cowboys can keep winning, and then when they get them back, because by the time they get their full horses in the stable, it's going to be playoff time. So all they have to do is just kind of ride the ship, manage it out, and then if by the time the playoffs come, they'll be okay. That's all they have to do. Is
I
just
hope you
ride
keep
the
hope
ship.
alive,
they
and
gotta
I'm
stay
happy
afloat
for
for
you.
about
I was
8
wrong,
weeks.
people. I admitted it. I'm
It's
not
possible.
going back.
That
What do you have to say?
2-0 start helps.
What do you have to say?
Their defense is going to come together. They're missing 4 pieces from their defense. I mean, their defense will carry them. That's what I think. Brandon Wheaton will do a good job, throwing
Matt
to
Castle
Terrence
too,
Williams.
We just need him to do decent. He doesn't have to
Decent.
do
They
anything crazy.
decent. He don't have to do
manage
nothing
the
crazy.
game.
Just
That's
manage the
manage
game.
football.
Their schedule is somewhat easy. They'll be okay.
Okay, Russ, that off with his head in Philly, Chip Kelly, because this is about to get ugly.
Well,
because they don't do
there's
well.
Two things.
with
Number
losing.
one, I'm not going back either. I picked the Philadelphia Eagles to go to the Super Bowl this year, and the only bowl that looks like they're going to is the toilet bowl.
That number one draft pick looks good right about now.
I don't understand what's going on in Philadelphia. If you take a healthy Sam Bradford, a healthy offensive line, and the NFL rushing leader in the backfield, who would have thought that this team is stinking up the joint?
So
Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray were college roommates at Oklahoma. They actually talked to each other before the season and said, make sure we go on the same team, and they wound up in Philadelphia. I don't even know if they should be on the same team right now because they have been the worst offense I have seen for a possible Super Bowl contender in a very long time. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys, tonight they traded for Matt Castle, who's expected to start next week.
Oh,
So they're putting Brandon Whedon on the bench. Matt Castle is expected to start. We're going to see if the Dallas Cowboys are a pretender or a contender after next week as well. But going real quick back to the Philadelphia Eagles, they have to figure out something because if you look at the teams that are 0-2, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Indianapolis Colts, these are teams that were expected to contend, and they're not going anywhere this year.
Byron, let me ask you, Chip Kelly. We all know what he did in the offseason. He wanted to have his own team after the whole Andy Reid regime. So he gets rid of Macklin. He gets rid of McCoy. Their situations aren't as good as we thought they would be. But does this make him look like he doesn't look good right now?
Well, I got a few
Not
things
at
to
all.
say. I got a few things to say.
Not at all. If you look at this team, Chip Kelly, remember the whole thing with LaShawn McCoy? And Chip Kelly was like, this is my team. It's my team. I'll take responsibility. Well, right now, Chip Kelly has to stand up to the plate and say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's my fault we're 0-2. and it's my job to put this team back together.
At least Rex Ryan talks junk, and then he says it's all on him. But Byron,
and that's the thing.
You take the floor.
Like I said, he's a megalomaniac. He's obsessed with his own power. He wants things his way. But when you think about it, let's look at a few angles. The system is not fitting DeMarco Murray. Money can't buy you happiness. You see him running east and west. That's not going to work with DeMarco Murray. He's not LaShawn McCoy, all right? So he needs to go north and south. And with the offensive line looking like it looked, it looked like Sam Bradford was a cat at a dog show. He looked like he was scared to get hit. He was getting knocked down, no time to throw. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. Byron Maxwell. Is Philly the place where corners go to die? Because you had Asamoah, you had Maxwell, who Dan Quinn, his own defensive coordinator in week 1, went after him. Julio Jones, one of the best receivers in the game. But you had no Dez, and he still gets exposed by Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley.
He got ate up.
It's sad, and then you look. Also, the Eagles. I love Jordan Matthews. Aguilar's supposed to be big time, but do they have a number 1 receiver?
No.
I think not.
Big no.
So put all those things in a pot. It's going to be tough for them to recover. And give credit to the Cowboys. Their defense will carry them, like you said. They can run the football. They have the offensive line. And they'll get healthy, like Roger said, on the defensive side of the ball. This division will be fun to watch, but the Cowboys still have a good shot.
So you're basically saying that the casualties aren't too much. They're not going to cost them too much. But we got to talk about the Eagles just a bit, because are you really concerned?
Listen.
But I need to ask you that question.
I just want to say one thing. At one point during the game, DeMarco Murray had -9 rushing yards.
It was
and he finished with 2.
And he finished with 2. He barely got in the positive. Please.
But yes, the Eagles are in definite trouble.
If I'm the Eagles, that's a team I'm pushing the panic button. Like I'm.
We have a problem.
What's the Staples commercial with the button? Yeah, that's I'm pressing that. In fact, I'm pounding that button, because Chip Kelly, unless you can turn this around, you look like a damn fool right now.
And they go to the Jets on Sunday, and that will be fun. Because you know Todd Bowles and that defense, they're ready for that, whatever that offense is called.
That's not a good sign for the Eagles to go there.
0-3? Oh, that's
and the thing is, in that Dallas game, that was a must-win.
And you got to think about Dallas. 3 straight years they've beaten them in Philly. Chip Kelly has not been able to beat Dallas in their own home turf.
And that's the reason why I went with the Cowboys, because they seem to beat each other at their home, each other's home. Because you knew what it was.
I mean, hey. You
didn't know what it was.
You picked the Rams, didn't you?
And if the Cowboys
picked the Rams,
you didn't know what it was either.
You picked the Rams, and I will never pick it.
And if the Cowboys can stay 500,
you don't know what it is.
If the Cowboys can stay 500 with these injuries, they'll make a run in the NFC, which I think is still wide open.
D, what's popping? What's on your mind?
You know, I tell you, watching the Eagles Sunday.
You just sound so calm after all this.
It was just pathetic. It was pathetic to watch. The Ravens game, you know,
he
between the
two. He said the toilet bowl. They'll be in that draft bowl with all them names, won't he?
I mean, that definitely will. And the way the Eagles are looking right now, they still have a chance in this division, but it's fading fast.
I mean, yeah, because the division is kind of weak. So
they got to win this week, though.
Yeah,
can't go 0-3.
Ain't no question.
And guess who they play the week after that? My boys.
And that won't be easy.
Let's move on, people. Let's talk about the Pack. Green Bay. They beat Seattle 27-17. Packers take a rematch of NFC finale. Aaron Rodgers and that Pack defense come up big in the fourth quarter in a physical one. Rodgers 25-30 out of 33 for 249 yards for 2 touchdowns. Everybody loved Aaron Rodgers. The Pack clutch against the Seattle defense.
He's bad in the regular season.
Still without Cam Chancellor, who is still holding out for a new contract. Will you just sign something? Because obviously you're detrimental to your team right now. Eddie Lacy left game with right ankle injury. Seahawks now 0-2. Russell Wilson 19 for 30 yards for 206 yards. Dang, what did I do? 19 of 30 for 206 yards, while rushing for 78 yards on 10 carries. Marshawn Lynch held for 41 yards on 15 carries. Aaron Rodgers, is he really a bad man, or are the Seahawks, they're really in trouble?
I think the Seahawks are really in trouble.
A little bit of both.
I was about to say a little bit of both. Your quarterback can't be your leading rusher. That's just not gonna. That's absolutely not gonna cut it. And defensively, man. Where's Cam Chancellor at, baby? Where's Cam? Where you at, baby? Come on, man. It's not worth it, man. You lost about $2 million off a $500 million deal. It's not worth it, man. Come back. Stop.
Oh, it's worth it.
Byron, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Are they figuring out? I mean, they made a stat. I forget it word verbatim, and maybe you know it, Russ. When it comes to Marshawn Lynch, close in yardage, getting into the end zone, he's not very effective. So everybody thought that 1 yard he was going to get in there, whose Super Bowl was going to be won. So realistically speaking, that pass might have been the most smart thing that they did, because people are stuffing Marshawn Lynch. What's your take on Marshawn Lynch? And then Russ, I'll come to you.
Go ahead, Russ. Go ahead, Russ.
Okay,
All
Russ
right,
first.
well, I do have to go in a second, and I really enjoy being on the show. But I will tell you this about Marshawn Lynch: if you take all the running backs in the NFL, all the starting running backs on 4th and 1 situations, Marshawn Lynch has the worst first down ratio of any running back in the league. Wow! So that says a lot, and I think you touched on that. That on 4th and 1 situations, that is the reason why the Seattle Seahawks threw the ball in the Super Bowl, because on 4th and 1 or short yardage situations, that it proves that the stats show that Marshawn Lynch can't seem to get that 1 yard that they need. Although I think everybody would assume that if they had to do it over again, they probably would have given Marshawn Lynch the ball at the goal line. But again, in order for the Seahawks to make a move, they have to be able to make a play. They have to convert those 4th and 1s and give the ball to Marshawn Lynch to let him at least try to get that first down. If they don't get it, the Seahawks aren't making the playoffs.
Is it as simple as that? No Seahawks, no playoffs? Kind of weird, right? Oh, I said Byron.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Byron,
Sorry.
before you start, listen. Anything's better than a turnover. All right, even if Marshawn Lynch would have got stuffed at the goal line,
and it was only second down.
It was only second down, and like I said, they would have still had the ball. Please, Byron.
I think that it starts off front with the offensive line. Trade Max Unger to New Orleans. You see the effects that it's hard to get those tough 1 yard plays. Russell Wilson, athletic, but where's Jimmy Graham?
No Jimmy.
Anybody remember? I think he had one catch for 11 yards.
Who was that second wide receiver?
But I think Baldwin and Curse last year, even when they didn't have Jimmy Graham, they played well in Matthews. But you have Jimmy Graham, one of the best 5 players in football possibly, at his position. Top 3, he only has 1 catch. Yes, they're using him more to block, but you got to get this man the ball. And I think defensively, it's Richard Sherman. I know he had a baby, a lot of off-the-field stuff, taking a lot of political issues. He just looked like he was getting picked on, and Aaron Rodgers looked like he wasn't afraid this time to throw to him. And Aaron Rodgers, like I say, in the regular season, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the world. I mean, in Lambeau Field, he hasn't thrown an interception, I think, in like almost 500 passes. So this guy's going to get it done at Lambeau. Question is in the postseason.
You said something about Richard Sherman. He had 2 flags in this one game. He only committed 2 last year.
To James Jones.
But listen how they happen. The defensive line.
You mad, bro?
The defensive line, they had free plays. You know, when they come off sides or encroachment, Aaron Rodgers got free play. Where you gonna throw it? Throw it deep because there's nothing could go wrong.
Right.
And also, and when you're beat, I got to stop him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And that happened twice.
Rich Sherman still only had like maybe 2 or 3 catches on him in that 1 touchdown. So as great as he is, he was great still for a regular corner, but he's the best in the world. So you look at it and say, what's going on? But it does kind of seem out of sync a little bit. Probably because no Cam.
Hey, thanks for having me on, fellas and ladies. I got to go. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully I'll see you guys again.
Yep, join us again.
Good luck to you in New England.
And with that,
Appreciate you,
with
man.
Russ gone, we that was week 1. Week 2, people, we're done. After the break, week 3, your picks. We'll get an assessment of what's going on in this pick pool here. Hopefully everybody has some good numbers. You're still holding on to that. Roger in charge of that. So this is the Flex Zone. I would say continue to tune in, but I don't believe I have to say that because what else would you do? We'll be right back.
Y'all come back here.
Welcome back to the Flex Zone. I hope you missed us. Week 3, we'll get to that soon, but we got to go back to week 2. Got a little score to settle right here. Had some week 2 picks. Roger, how did everyone do?
Well, I went 5-11. Yeah. Brittany went 2-14. Andre went 9-7.
Sheesh.
D went 6-10. Gravante went 8-8. Michael, you went 9-7.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
our guest from last week, True, he went 8-8, and Jeff Axel went 5-11.
So
where did I go?
You went 8-8.
Okay.
So technically, if I would have did week 1, I would have took the lead, right?
Stay at 500
because I would have been winning. Darn it, dang it.
And yet still, you don't want to play.
Anyways, moving on to week 3. The Redskins go play the Giants. I'm going to pick the Redskins for Thursday Night Football, and I hope they give me a great early birthday present.
Of course,
Please
you're going
do
to pick the Redskins.
Please do that. I mean, hey, has it ever steered me that wrong?
Most
last
of the time
week,
it has.
it steered me right. So I'm going to take it. You be respectful
let's not get crazy.
of me.
Most of the time, outside
Does
of
Robert get on the field?
You continue to be realistic.
Does Robert get on the field?
Do your thing.
No.
Everybody.
Safety.
Who you got?
Raquel, be real. What do you think your record is picking the Skins?
Oh, man.
All right, exactly.
But at the same time, I will never do it.
Stop.
Anyways, I will never do it. You will never see me falter, so stop trying. Anyways, Roger, who wins this one?
The Giants win this game. They will have a bounce back game.
Disrespectful.
Yes, they had the lead twice and gave it away. This time they get the lead again, and they will not give it away. Giants win this game.
Come on, D. Say happy birthday to me.
You know, it's
Come on.
This was a tough one to pick, I have to admit. It was. But I'm taking the Giants for this one sole reason. Traveling on the road on Thursday Night Football is always difficult.
Byron, you know I like light-skinned guys, right? So you're going to pick...
So
you're going to pick my birthday present, or you're going to be disrespectful and pick the Giants, too?
This is a family show.
Come on.
First of all,
give me what I want
2
now.
words, Odell Beckham, or 3 words, Odell Beckham Jr., New York Football Giants will win this game at home. Like you said, D, tough traveling on the road on Thursday nights. I like the Giants to actually hold the lead. The Redskins' defense is tough. It will be a close game, but in the end, I think Manning will make the drive.
Quick fact, man, quick for Cavante come on. Both defenses are ranked in the top 5. So this will be an interesting matchup.
Slug it out.
NFC battle as normal. NFC East battle as normal. Cavante.
Yes,
Giants or Redskins? I know where you're going.
I believe the Redskins are ranked 1 and the Giants are ranked 3.
3, yep.
It's gonna be good. I think if we run the ball like we did past 2 weeks, we could very much win this game. And all there is Odell Beckham. I know that's probably I'm downplaying a little bit, but it's just Odell Beckham. Like that's
it's just Odell Beckham.
It's just Odell Beckham. That's the only weapon. That's the only weapon. So we have a shot. And Kirk Cousins has to have no turnovers again.
He has to do
I'm
the
going
same
to Skins
thing he did the
because
last game.
This is our chance to come up. It's a divisional game. We need this.
Feeling the pressure wholeheartedly.
Redskins.
Dre.
Giants.
Okay, moving on to Sunday.
I like that.
Sunday, the day before Monday. I'm going to keep saying this. Anyways, the Falcons play the Cowboys with what the Falcons have been doing. And the Cowboys with these casualties, granted, I know y'all saying they're still in this, but I'm going to take the Falcons. Raj.
Julio Jones.
Julio.
Matt Ryan. Roddy White. I mean, what more can you say? I didn't know Matt Castle was going to start this week. I'm not feeling
I still want to see if that's official
I'm not
yet.
feeling that. I think they should have stuck with Brandon Wheaton. So
did you see what the guy is? I don't know.
And they don't have Jason Witten nor Dez Bryant. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the D is good, but the Falcons going to keep rolling. So I'm picking the Falcons.
D.
For 1 week, the whole Cowboy injury situation, Atlanta will catch them. I think the Cowboys will be all right after this game, but for this week, Atlanta's the team to beat.
Byron, does Atlanta go into this game overconfident?
I believe, not overconfident, but I think it's the Atlanta Falcons we're used to seeing. I like what Dan Quinn is doing. Defense looks very good, but I think that Matt Ryan will show why he's not clutch in a sense. I kind of compare him to Peyton Manning. He's good in the regular season. Playoffs, he comes up small sometimes. But I'm staying, like my man Stephen A. Smith, on the Whedon. And I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys.
On the Whedon. I thought this was a family
show. To win this game.
I thought this was a family show.
The Whedon.
No, the Wheaties. The Wheaties.
And I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. I think they will step up and win this game at home. Defense will get it done.
Okay, Cravante.
He's smoking the hope.
I hope you're not on the Whedon.
Stay on it.
That's my dog.
But
I say that's my dog, Julio Jones. Let's go. ATL going into Big D.
Shouty. Dre. Here
on,
he
Dre.
goes
Come
with
on,
the
Dre.
shenanigans.
Come on, Dre. You know you want to.
You know you want to pick Atlanta.
Lord.
You know what?
Don't do it.
Come on, Dre.
Don't you do it.
You got to pick the Cowboys,
He's
aren't
going
you?
to do it.
I hope so, man, because I could catch him.
Come on,
Pick
Dre.
the Cowboys.
Please pick the Cowboys.
I catch him too.
Please pick the Cowboys.
Hey,
I want to pick the Cowboys
Say
so bad.
it with your chest. But
I just can't this week. I'm sorry, Julio Jones. This is too much.
How about
It's too much, baby. Julio about to go off. I know.
Hey, Andre, just for you. How about them Cowboy injuries?
It's cool. Look, it's just
No
1 week.
when
It's
to
just 1 week,
fold
baby.
up.
It's just 1 week.
Know when to walk away.
Know when to run.
Cowboys are actually a better team on the road, by the way. Won 10 straight road games, franchise record, by the way.
But it's in Dallas.
That's what I'm saying. They don't play that great at home, but I do like the back against the wall mentality of this team.
Let's move forward. The Colts go to face Mariota and the Titans. I'm going to still go with the Colts. I still think things are going to turn around. I'm going to start with my right this time. Dre, who you got, man?
I think everybody in this room right now has the Colts. I think we can just
Still,
move on.
even amidst all their problems, you still got the Colts?
Did you
I mean,
not
it's a
see?
must
Did you not
win.
see? Did you not see?
It's a must
I
win.
mean,
now
it's
wait.
Tit-
Now wait. It is a division.
It's gonna be tough.
It's a
It's a tough
divisional
game,
game, but with a rookie quarterback, and the way it's Mariota versus Andrew Luck. You have a rookie versus a seasoned guy whose team is destined. Well, his team is
Desperate?
predicted. His team is desperate.
That's the word.
But they're also the favorites to go to the Super Bowl. I think
they
everybody
were supposed to beat the
predicts
Jets
Colts.
last week,
Hey,
too.
Andre, I haven't told the difference so far. Andrew Luck turned over the ball. I haven't told the difference who the rookie and who the.
Hey, man,
I mean,
might
but
as well put
we all
RG3
know
in that draft
that's
class.
happened.
He'll still
We
look better
all know
than
that happens with Andrew Luck.
Whoopi's holding that clipboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cravante, do you have the Colts or the Titans, sir?
I have the Colts. This is an absolute must win, and they're jumping into the divisional games. Absolute must win. They have to win this game, and I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but out of all the 0-2 teams, they'll be the one to still make the playoffs.
Colts lose. Are they in trouble, Byron? Who you got?
We don't have to worry about that because they won't. I think Andrew Luck is 10-0 against the AFC South in his career, so I think he'll go to 11-0. Big game from Andre Johnson and Frank Gore. You'll finally see those acquisitions take fold. I like the Titans what they're doing. Ken Wisenhunt doing a good job. Mariota showed flashes of goodness, but I don't think I trust their defense, so I'm going with the Colts in a close game.
D, Roger,
You
got
This is a very sorry division. the
lack of hope that's in your voice.
The Colts
is
and
no
Houston
longer
win
there.
Sunday and Tennessee Jacksonville lose. It's a 4-way tie for first place. That's
Look
all.
at
Sorry.
that. Look at
at
that.
would you look at those
But
apples.
I'm taking the Colts in a close game against Tennessee, but the turnovers got to stop. And some of the corners got to come
I
back
would
for Indy,
love for
man.
you to say
Yeah,
the
a lot of
Titans, but
injuries
you're
on
not
the
gonna
second
say
half.
that.
They had
No,
to.
I'm not going to do that.
You're gonna say the Colts
I'm
too.
not
Go
crazy because Andrew Luck will be Andrew Luck. He won't be Andrew Suck like he was last night.
Yes, he was.
And T.Y. Hilton will show
Jay
up.
Suckler, Andrew Suck. Go
I mean,
ahead.
hey, Frank Gore will not fumble the football at
can
the goal
Frank Gore
line.
and Andre Johnson show up?
Right.
Now, I
Yeah,
think this is
that
the
was
game they
huge.
might show up because
That was
the
huge.
Titans have no corner.
And they need this game.
Next
so
game
close.
on your chopping block, the Raiders go to Cleveland. Keep it moving, Oakland. I got you.
This is interesting. Yeah.
I think they'll pull it out. Oakland. Switching
on,
it
Dre.
up a bit. Byron, who you got?
Yes, I knew you were coming to me first. First of all, give me a few seconds
You
here.
didn't
I
do
want to
anything.
tell everyone, Johnny Manziel got it done on Sunday. You let Johnny be Johnny, Mike Pettin. Don't try to coach him up and tell him to be a traditional quarterback. He's not. He
They
makes
use
plays that are
vintage.
extraordinary that you can't script on the playbook. And you saw that on Sunday. And if you give this guy opportunity, you saw Josh McCown, what he does, thinking he's John Elway jumping into the end zone. That's what he gets for getting hurt. Johnny Manziel.
What did you call him? What did you call him last week?
Damn fool, excuse my
fool,
language,
okay.
but sheesh.
A Damien
Anyway, Johnny Manziel should be the quarterback moving forward, and he made this receivers. Travis Benjamin, what a game for him, being a deep threat, returning punts. The Cleveland defense stepping up, and the dog pound, they have a pretty good home
So
field advantage.
who
They don't care
wins
about
this
how
one?
bad this team's been. They support their team. I think they're happy to see Johnny. He's going to feed off that energy. He's matured a lot. He knows he has a lot of work to do. He'll make it work. I think the running game will get going. Duke Johnson out of Miami will have a big game as well. I like Derek Carr. I love what Oakland's doing. They're going to have a good year. Close game. Johnny wins. Beats another up-and-coming quarterback.
Okay. That was a lot.
Yes, it was.
Cravante. They use vintage.
What a-
Vintage Johnny.
Well, you
so
know,
is
now-
this a prelude
I
to
like-
what we were getting at?
I like how they say vintage Johnny because we're obviously talking about Texas A&M Johnny.
Totally.
Obviously.
They let him
because
be Texas Johnny.
That game he had against Alabama was great. Like, that was it's one of those,
Heisman moment.
There's always a couple games where it's like, yo, that was an instant classic. And that was definitely one of those college games.
It was.
But I think Derek Carr is going to make one more play better than Johnny. I'm going with the Raiders.
A couple young guns going at it.
It's going to be fun.
Are you showing the money, Dre? You know you love to.
I'm on the money team,
Yeah,
baby.
Dre, baby. There he is. That's my guy.
Eventually you two will connect.
Well, I mean, he left me hanging on the Cowboys pick, but it's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
This relationship is
It's all right, man. Look, you with me with Manziel.
But this relationship is alarming. You know that, right?
But this game is in the dog. Factor in this game is in the dog.
Yes, sir.
And how the Cleveland Browns do so much better when they're in Cleveland.
And if they win and the Bengals lose, they're tied for first.
Exactly.
Wow, look at that.
How about those apples? Raj.
Yes.
What's going to go down in Cleveland?
Derek Carr will be the better quarterback than Johnny Manziel.
Shots fired, Byron. How you feel about that?
Derek Carr has a better wide receiving core. I mean, the Browns' defense is good, don't get me wrong. But I just think Derek Carr, this is his time. He showed us last week that he's a beast, and he will be a beast.
But the corners in Cleveland are better than the Cleveland.
Are better
than. But yeah, that's going to be a matchup. And you got Jamal Williams on the other side taking care of Michael Crabtree. They got some corners up there, and they get after the pass rusher, Danny Shelton and those boys.
Bob, I feel you, but Alden Smith and Justin Tuck did not step their games up this week.
But Joe Thomas on the blind side, don't forget about that. They have a good offensive line.
Are going to show off.
Got to finish this up, fellas. D.
You know, this is going to be a red tea on this show. I'm going to ask you agree with Dre and
Yes.
Byron.
Yes.
You showing the money?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move on. Because
one more thing. The travel difference will hurt Oakland. in
West
the
to East.
football game.
Yes.
Okay, this one. I was a little bit unsure. You think you're sure, but you're not. But this is a divisional game. Bengals, Ravens. I still would think the Ravens will take care of business. Cravante, I'm gonna switch it up again a little bit. You still rolling with the Bengals?
I am.
Okay, I knew it.
The Bengals are looking really good, but they kind of look like the same old Bengals. They really do pretty well early in the season. Throughout the season, they usually do pretty well. Usually get double-digit wins. And even though this is a must-win for the Ravens, I don't think they get it done in Baltimore.
0-3?
0-3 is looking bad.
Andy Dalton versus Joe Flacco. Byron, who wins the matchup?
Richie Cunningham shows up. Throws a late fourth quarter pick to that Varnish secondary, which somehow shows up. Joe has another big day. And I like what the Ravens are going to do at home. Play well at home.
Ball so hard University, people. Is it obvious? Who you got? Yourselves.
Who I got? I think Jimmy Smith owes us a pick from last week getting dusted. And I think Webb will be healthier coming this week. So I got to pick the Ravens, man. I think Joe Flacco's going to go ham at home.
D?
You know, much as I want to pick Raven Mania,
You're going to pick the Bengals.
I did say the Bengals are the best team in the AFC North.
He's picking the Bengals.
By default.
Yeah. Mr. Cunningham has a full, complete team around him.
So he'll
It's
be Andy
consistent.
Dalton this week. Okay.
So Fonzie's coming out?
Yeah, and the
Fonzie.
Ravens
Happy
just
days. We call them happy days.
The Ravens just don't have a complete team right now. We don't know what's going to show up on either side of the football.
And that
And
is
it's-
very scary.
And until we see that, it's hard to pick them. So.
Ravens inconsistent. Ravens not
And
complete.
AJ
This is
Green
funny.
usually has that one crazy play in him, and it's
Exactly.
always in Baltimore.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And the Bengals have owned the
They
Ravens
don't.
as of late.
This is not a tale of two seconds again, is it? They're not gonna lose
no,
this again.
no, it ain't going to be a
This
tale
is
of 2
not- they're not
seconds.
losing
no.
this and then, all right?
No.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm hoping to be wrong.
You're about to pick the Bengals?
The Ravens, for the first 2 weeks, have been on
Oh
the
my
road.
gosh, what you say it?
They go back on the road with the same West Coast crazy schedule in weeks 6 and 7 to San Francisco and when they go to Arizona. Now, with that being said, and it's the Ravens' first home game, I'm picking the Ravens. They do
Excuse
so
me.
well. The Ravens do really well at home. Granted, it's against the Bengals, but the Ravens' backs are against the wall, and they haven't looked as bad as people really think in those first 2 games. Trust me, the Ravens.
They haven't looked
the
bad,
Ravens,
but
the
they
Ravens,
look inconsistent.
But defensively,
the Ravens
gosh.
as a team.
They've
you
looked
could-
Actually, no, week one.
Week one, they look like a
They look really good.
So what's the better-
You cooked the joint up.
So what's the better phrase?
Inconsistency.
So what's
Week
the
to
better
week.
phrase? They've basically looked uncharacteristic for
Yeah,
a
they
Ravens.
and
Absolutely.
the
That's
thing
the
is,
phrase.
and the Ravens could easily be one of these teams that is 2-0 as well. So that's why I said they're not out of the dance yet. Just because they don't have Terrell Suggs, that doesn't mean that the Ravens aren't in it. They're a very competitive football
But you know
team.
what? They're not a name guy anyway. They're a system team anyway.
They're a very
Next
good.
guy
They're a
up.
very good football team, and trust me, like that in Oakland, they had Flacco led the team down to get the victory. This is a divisional
We're not
game.
blaming you,
they
Joe.
know that they have to get it done. I say
Not
that
on
the
the flex
Ravens get it.
I'm
done.
We're
hoping to
moving
be
forward.
wrong. I'm hoping.
We're
to be
gonna
wrong.
move forward.
Oh,
This
my
game,
God.
do we even
Oh,
have
my
to?
God.
Oh,
just
This
say
is
it.
a-
Just
this
say
is
it.
like
Just
A lion attacking a gazelle.
I just said for all
he
of
had
us.
400 and what? He's about to have 1,000 in this game.
Just say who we're choosing in this
Just
game.
say who's the best quarterback in the world. and who's the
We're
best
picking
football
number
player in the
12.
world.
I'm not going to say that. We're
Two
going to pick
words.
12.
Hammer time.
But hold up.
What you about to say?
Be respectful to the Jaguars.
Yes, they
are
got a
up
big
and
win.
coming.
Yes.
There's not going to be hammer
they
time.
did. Let's
But
talk
the
about-
Patriots will still win.
It's going to be hammer time.
I think it's gonna be halftime because it's in Foxborough.
It's going to be
What
hammer
Brandon said
time.
he threw it for 5.
he said he would have threw for 5.
I
on the
mean,
first
the
week. He only
Jags
threw
beat the
for 4, but he
Dolphins
was close.
last week. Nobody expected them to do that.
Exactly.
Hey man, you starting Brady again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about will the Jags defense even muster?
Hey, listen,
I mean,
Why are we still talking about this?
Listen,
they allow no
move on,
sacks.
man. Can we move on, baby? Can we move on?
Yeah, we need
All right, we're gonna move on. Big NFC South battle: Saints and the Panthers. I'm gonna stick with Cam.
1, 2, 3. Cam. Hey, shout out to Cam. He's getting it done with no
nobody.
receivers.
Nobody.
Because Drew Brees ain't playing Sunday in all likelihood.
Yeah, that
Man.
team is.
So that's dead. That's all the way dead.
They could be headed to the top of the
The
draft.
Aints is coming back, you think?
Get the
When the
plastic, get the
Aints-
brown bags.
Absolutely.
Go
Because the
coming
only
back.
thing holding the Aints up was Drew Brees.
Yeah.
He ain't playing.
And him being out, going back to the Aints, take off the S.
Yeah, and the Aints
The
go
Aints, oh man, that's harsh.
marching back.
Cam Newton, big.
Oh yeah, next game. Oh, the next game
And
might
he-
be bad too.
he
Next
done.
game.
The next game might
The
be
Eagles
bad
and the
too.
Jets. I think I'm a pick. I never thought I'd say this because last year I was like, why do they keep putting the Jets on prime time? Why do they keep getting Monday night games? But I'm gonna go with the Jets. If the Eagles lose this, trouble in paradise, people.
It's trouble.
They're
now.
gonna throw everything on that field at Chip Kelly.
I mean,
When it goes in Philadelphia.
they in trouble now, and the fact that they're going to face a really good defense.
The best defense in the
I'm
league,
picking
bro.
the Jets.
Man, listen, Todd Bowles got this new defense called. Now I don't know if it's new, but I never really seen it before. It's called the jam defense.
Oh.
Where they cover up the tight, they cover up the center and both guards, and it looks crazy. And they're gonna get crazy pressure on Sam Bradford. It's gonna be bad.
Oh, and look,
It's gonna
here's
be
the thing
bad.
too. I want to add this in quickly. If they made Andrew Luck look bad,
Oh, God.
imagine what they're going to do.
Sam might get hurt.
to
Sam don't wanna get hurt.
He
Sam
looked like
might
a
hurt.
cat at a dog show. I'm telling you.
Sam might get
I'ma
hurt.
Is this unanimous?
I'm going to
We're
say it
going
here
with the
first.
Jets?
IR is coming for Sam Bradford.
Jets.
Jets.
Hey, shout out to Brandon Marshall, man. I wish the Ravens could have traded for him. He looks like a beast.
Jets
Jameis
are
and the
winning.
crew goes to play JJ in the crew. What that is? In Houston. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. Everybody?
I'm going with Houston.
You're gonna go to Houston.
Going to Houston. I think Malik played a lot better Sunday than his predecessor. I think Tennessee.
Predecessor.
I think Houston's defense will do enough to confuse Mr. Winston, turn him into Sheamus, and get a win.
I'm just trying to figure out who's the quarterback for the Texans.
Ryan
Is it
Mallett.
still
It's
Brian
Ryan
Hoyer?
Mallett. It's
Oh, it
Ryan
is Ryan Mallett. Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Mallett
Oh,
was in
okay.
last
Well,
week.
I'm not picking them. I'm picking the Buccaneers because Jameis showed me something last week. So
He's still a
I
rookie
think
guy.
he's
He's
going
still
to
a rookie.
roll on
He's still a
the
rookie.
Texans this week.
Normally, I would try to pick the Buccaneers,
But
this week he's facing J.J. Watt.
JJ Watt's one man.
Oh, not to
And
mention that
one
tight end is
man-
out too.
And one man
Jenkins.
can make a difference. I'm rolling with the Texans in this
Austin
one.
Safari.
And that Tampa 2 defense has got away with something against the Aints. That's all that was.
Oh man, stop calling him the Aints. I never
Oh
thought
man,
And the Aints.
gosh.
JJ Watt only had 5 tackles for 1 sack last game, and that was against the Panthers.
Is Mike Evans playing?
I think he might be back.
Mike Evans back, but he had no impact last week, and they still won.
Yeah.
I think he's
He
going to
gets
get
going.
his impact. I think
I'm
he gets
hoping.
going. I
I'm
think
hoping
it's
for fantasy's sake. I'm praying into it.
All right, Byron.
Yeah,
you're gonna- who you
I
got?
picked the Bucks to win the South. They're going to go on the road and win another tough game. J.J. Watt and Will Falk and Clowney, they're good up front, but who are their corners? Those 6'7", 6'8" boys are going to take advantage up top. You see Jameis has a good rapport with them, Lovie Smith, and this team keeps rolling.
And this is where they actually need Arian Foster.
Yeah, and that's the question. They're 2-14 without him.
And next game we go. Chargers, they go to Minnesota. I have the Chargers. I don't think you want to mess with Phillip Rivers. He came into the last game against the Bengals with a streak of 20 straight completions. Only four shy of Donovan McNabb. I haven't said that name in a long time. For the NFL record, Rivers' streak set the Chargers record, and he's tied for third longest streak in NFL. So, we're going to go with the Chargers. Phillip Rivers keeps it moving. Dre, do you agree?
No.
Oh, brother.
I'm going to roll with the Vikings.
AP, they're saying AP. They're screaming
All
AP
day.
Great
again.
game last week.
Is that
All day.
Is that good in Minnesota again?
All day is enough to get him over.
Switch it up. No, you.
This was a tough game to pick because this game can go either way. San Diego again traveling back on the road again
to the Midwest.
/ East Coast. I like Minnesota in a close game. I wouldn't be shy to go in overtime, to be honest with you.
Go ahead, Raj. Who you got?
I'm going to stick with Phillip Rivers on this. I mean, Adrian Peterson looked like Adrian Peterson, but he was fumbling a whole lot last week.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what Adrian Peterson we're going to see this week. So I'm picking San Diego.
Unanimous? You got San Diego as well?
I'm going with the Vikings. You know I love Phillip Rivers. I love me some Phillip.
I'm about to say,
but I hate picking against him. But I think it's going to be a shootout. But North Turner and Teddy Bridgewater, look at how great that's been working out. Teddy Bridgewater not turning the ball over, making the plays down the field, running when need be. And Adrian Peterson not only running the ball but catching the ball. Yeah. He played well. He won't fumble as much. And their offensive line has been great. And that defense is very underrated. I like that team.
I think Phillip Rivers will outplay Teddy Bridgewater, and I believe this will be a successful road trip for the Chargers.
And moving on to another road trip, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They go face the Rams. I have the Steelers. Hey, we had a Michael Vick sighting last game, right? He only rushed for 3 yards, but hey. We had a Michael Vick sighting. That was good to see. Ben Roethlisberger, 21 out of 27, 369 yards, 3 touchdowns. They bounced back from losing to the Pats, excuse me. So, Steelers over the Rams. Rams don't have enough. Roger.
Le'Veon Bell makes his return.
Welcome back, boy.
That offense is going to roll.
In the living room.
And the Rams will lose because the Steelers are starting to find their groove.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
One back.
Go ahead.
One back.
Check you out.
I like that.
I mean, hey.
Oh, man.
Find out you got some skills. Go ahead.
The Rams don't have enough scoring to hang with the Steelers. This could get ugly, but I'm going to say 10 points. Steelers by 10.
The disrespect to the Rams. I mean, that defensive line is going to kill the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to be in the backfield every play. That's because the offensive line of the Redskins is better than the Steelers. No Pouncey and those boys. Oh, Aaron Donald's going to have a career day. Ben will be running for his life, and they will get it done in the dome. I'm taking the Rams at home, Nick Foles and the crew, and I'm going with the Rams. I believe in this team, and hopefully, I don't know if Gurley will play this game. Probably won't, but I think they have enough. If they can beat Seattle at home, they can beat the Steelers.
The Steelers' defense did improve last week.
Will we make up Martavius Bryant's return too?
He won't be back.
No, he won't be back.
He got 2 more games.
No? Well,
Bell won't have no running room either, so I don't think he's going to come back and have 100 yards.
Cravante.
We'll see.
Steelers?
Man, he went with the Rams. That's crazy.
Of course he did, but they lost the Redskins last week, so I don't know why.
Can you please, Mikkel?
I'm going to go with that.
It was on the road, and the Redskins
Who cares?
played well.
Everybody thought that game was an L.
That's fine.
W.
Most of the Redskins,
Go ahead.
last few games, they dealt with the L's.
You just shut up and give me that.
So sensitive.
No, I can't give it to you because you're.
Why not? Everybody thought that game was gonna be an L.
You're like 1-15.
So
I'm
sensitive.
sorry. Everybody goes in the Redskins park and they're gonna win. So when they lose, I'm gonna exploit the hell out of that.
Where's the
Go
cake
ahead.
they used to give James Brown?
Okay, you're gonna go with Steelers. Moving on. Go ahead.
1-15.
You can hate me now. I don't care. You can hate me now. I don't care. Look what?
A dead clock is right twice.
Can you just shut up and pick another phrase?
Stay off the
get me
weeds.
back.
So are the
You stay off
Eagles? So
the
are the
weed.
Eagles even a
Then.
clock?
We dead.
How about you do
Are
that?
the Eagles a clock?
They haven't won shit.
The clock.
They haven't won.
The Eagles don't even have hands.
They haven't won. They haven't won anything.
Everyone's
First of
scared.
all, so let's get that straight. But first of all, look, the Rams just had a bad game. It happens within the course of a 16-game season.
You say it.
The Rams are at home. They have a great defense.
Talking as if this is the greatest show.
So what are you, Byron now? Byron Jr.?
I told
What are
you.
you buying?
Eventually, they come together. This man laughs
the
at
man
them
give
all
it
the
an
time,
outlet,
and then they get into these picks and become all
He is the
lovey-dovey.
producer of the show.
You know what?
You are one.
When we do
It's bad
picks,
enough. I've agreed with him twice. I
when we
feel
do
better.
picks, can you switch mics so they just can sit next to each other
I say we
and
might as well
cheat
just switch
sheet or
spots.
whatever?
Hey, I like
they do?
Sinestro Fonte, man.
Anyways, moving forward, the 49ers, San Francisco, they go to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Cardinals, definite. Over the 49ers.
gonna be a good game.
Moving on.
It's a divisional game,
But
but
it's gonna be a good one.
I actually don't think it's going to be a good one.
Cardinals are in a rhythm.
I don't
boy.
think it's going to be a good one. The
They're-
Cardinals are looking really, really good. And the trouncing that the 49ers just received.
On NFL Live, they were saying that Carson Palmer, you could argue that he's the best quarterback right now
Playing.
in the NFL.
Hey, listen, outside of Tom Brady?
And right now, Carson Palmer's in a groove.
They
like
believe
no
with
other.
Carson, it's a way.
First of all, don't ever put Carson Palmer, same sense.
No. We're just saying play it. We're just saying play it.
Carson Palmer, 17 of 24, 185 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interceptions against the Bears last week.
Hey, y'all Cardinals are looking good. Y'all were singing their praises. They're going to go to 3-0.
He's what? 15 and 2 in last 17 starts, 7th touchdown of the season.
Spectacular.
So, hey.
And it's in Arizona. And Chris Johnson sighting last week. Ran the ball well.
Larry Fitzgerald sighting. 3
Yes.
That old sack of bones
clicking.
not that bad, too.
All I know
8
is
receptions, 112 yards, 3 touchdowns.
all I know is I'm picking the Cardinals because that defense is so nasty, and Karate knows because I put up 20 points.
I thought he was gonna let it slide.
Is that so everybody has the Cardinals? Can I move on?
Darn you.
Everybody has the Cardinals. Okay, the Bills. They go to Miami. I think they will bounce back because they looked horrible. I don't know what the Patriots did. I don't know. I'm going to take the Bills.
Another divisional game.
What's up with Sunday in divisions?
I'm choosing the Bills as well.
Bills got to bounce back.
Bills?
Have to bounce back.
I'm picking the Bills.
Dolphins have to bounce back. I think the Dolphins get it done at home in a close contest.
I don't think the Dolphins are legit. They was one punt return away from losing in D.C. They lost in Jacksonville last week. This is not a legit football team.
And they did lose to Jacksonville.
Mr. Sue is not following directions.
No,
which
he's
I don't
not.
understand.
They're not using him right, and he's not following
I
directions.
just think that the Dolphins have to get a win. They have to bounce back. I think a lot of people overlooking them. And Jarvis Landry's played well. I like the Dolphins.
I think the Bills are better overall than the Dolphins overall.
So we'll see how they travel.
And moving on, the Bears, Chicago. They go.
This hammer time. Seattle
God.
got it.
No, what? Jay Cutler
Hey, man, the
not
way
playing.
Seattle been playing.
This is hammer time.
You never
This
know.
is gonna be bad.
time.
This is
What's
gonna be
gonna go
bad.
down?
This is hammer
Freaking
time.
Jimmy Clausen.
This is gonna be bad.
All I have to
Jimmy
say is, if y'all
Clausen.
seen the Bastard Executioner, when that dude sticks the sword down in the dude's skull, that's
I
gonna happen
wouldn't
to
be
the Bears.
surprised.
That's
The
gonna
Seahawks
happen.
have
With
not
their
been
helmets
the
on.
Seahawks.
With their helmets
But I'm
on.
still going to
on.
take the Seahawks. Can we
This
leave
is like
this?
the Roman
Can we
guy.
leave this game?
Please,
Move on?
just
They
go
might have
away.
put up 40.
Okay.
Hammer time.
Sunday Night Football, NBC, people.
This could be hammer
Broncos,
time, too.
Denver. They go face the Lions. Matt Stafford and the crew. What happens? I take the Broncos. Peyton continues their steamroll and move on over. That defense, they're going to continue to do the same thing against the Lions.
Matthew Stafford is dealing with some type of injury.
He's hurt.
He
He's
might not
hurting
play.
right now.
If it was a rib, he left.
Rib.
Wasn't it? That
man.
offensive line is not blocking.
This
It,
year,
it,
this
it
year.
didn't matter.
His ribs is.
It didn't matter if he was playing or not. This game is over before it even started.
Yeah, man. I think
You gonna be saying
they're gonna find a way
Manning,
to shut down
Peyton.
Calvin Johnson, and that'll be that.
Manning, Peyton.
Pay might not have to do much.
Hey, look,
Gosh,
man.
we
You show
almost-
respect to this team that's still on a path to meet the Patriots in the AFC Championship game, as I said,
Who, the Lions?
and they will play well.
No.
The Denver
Oh,
Broncos, the
I don't know
offensive
who you
line
talk about at
looks
first.
like it's starting to come into form. Kubiak and Peyton are starting to figure it out. Running game still needs to get a little bit better.
Yes,
but that
absolutely.
defense
Wow.
is one of the
Elite.
best in the league.
So we
Elite. figured it out.
They
Can I
they
move
are
on to
number
Monday?
one. The Broncos are number one
Broncos.
versus the pass.
And the offense looked good in the second half, by the way. They starting to get
They
their
went
rhythm
back
and that
in the
timing.
shotgun.
Yeah, let
They
Peyton
did last-
sit back and pick you apart.
That's
We'll
understandable.
have a long day in the forward.
The Lions are
forward
going to have a
field.
long
And we
evening.
move on to Monday. What a great day that is on Monday. Oh, my gosh.
Something happening on
Oh,
Monday?
man, it is my birthday on
It is.
I
Monday.
gotta go to work.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
It's also the rematch of Super Bowl I.
it really.
I gotta go to work.
Wow. You said, dang, is that ancient?
Oh, I got
That's
class
ancient?
Monday. That's what's on. I got
Does
class
that,
on
does that
Monday.
make me ancient?
He's still told what he
I
got to
work-
do on Monday.
You got to call Mikkel and tell her happy birthday. All of y'all.
birthday.
Anyways.
I'm telling you now.
No,
my
you're going to
birthday.
call me and you're going to tell me too. Yeah, you thought that was funny.
Denver gonna win.
Anyways, 8:30, Chiefs go to play the Pack. Pack beats them.
Let me tell
Aaron
you
Rodgers.
a couple things. In about the last 40
Here we go.
games
Here we go.
with Aaron Rodgers
Here
and
we go.
Lambeau Field, he
Yes.
lost about
He's
three.
going to do what
he lost
you're
about
gonna do what
3
he always
times.
hates. Give praise to Aaron Rodgers.
No,
lost
I don't
about
hate it.
3
He's
times.
great in the regular season. He's real bad.
My-
But in the playoffs, he's just bad.
My thing is
No,
this:
whoa,
will a wide receiver catch a touchdown
No.
pass from the Chiefs?
Nope. Not in Lambeau.
Not a Lambeau.
Nah.
Sorry.
So we got the Packs.
And the sad thing is the Chiefs should have won that Denver game. I did think Denver was going to win. But a loss like that can follow you for the rest of the season and really contribute to their downfall and make them go on a slide, especially with a tough road schedule. Even with the extended time, I think the Packers blow this game open early.
Trey, you're quiet. It's uncharacteristically quiet.
I said, it's Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau. Why would I choose against?
Yes,
all I know
Aaron
is-
Rodgers will be a bad
All I know is
man.
Devontae Adams is waiting to have a big game.
and
This
that's
is the
gonna be
weekend.
a-
Shout out to
Man,
James Jones.
Jones.
James
And
Jones.
that's going to be a
James
great. They found each
Fantasy.
other
James
again.
Jones.
Fantasy.
They're connecting again.
Feels good to be
And
together.
that will be a great day, and I will have a great day. And we're done. The show's over, people. Yeah.
Whoa. You sure?
Really? I ain't got nobody
Talking
else.
about
I
the
got somebody
0-2
else's.
teams? We're not talking about 0-2 teams? Okay, that's fine.
I got
I mean, if I had to choose a 0-2 team that's probably going to make it, I say the Colts.
Oh, I thought the show was on. Okay, we can go back. Okay, great.
I mean, I just want to say that because I kind of foreshadowed it earlier.
I mean, we can. Okay. I mean, anybody else?
I'm gonna say the Colts in Seattle. I thought Seattle would start 0-2 and get it going after this game. So.
I agree with both.
Okay.
And the Eagles are in the toilet.
I want to say the Ravens, too, but it looks...
Get in the toilet.
The Eagles, 14% chance. What's that? 14%?
The best chance.
I just think the Eagles
Seattle at 28, the Colts at 27, the Eagles at 14. I say Seattle and the Colts, like D said.
Hey, man. Going out on a limb, Eagles going 0-4.
And the thing is, they got to play the AFC East.
And the AFC East is legit.
It's going to be tough. Yeah.
I think it's going to be...
Do it.
I'm gonna do this. I think it's gonna be the Colts, the Seahawks, and yes, I said it because they're my Super Bowl pick, the Ravens.
I'm hoping you're right. Man.
Stick to it, man.
Hoping you're right.
Please stick to it because the Colts are my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, that was a sexy pick. How's that looking?
Gotta go down with the ship.
It's not too late to change to also say Tom Brady's the best quarterback in the world, and they're going to.
We're not doing that.
Why?
Can you go away? Nobody's making that statement.
Because you're just dumb.
No, because we just don't want to.
Exactly.
Anyways, is the show over? Can I end the show?
Let him be great.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
The real bad man is in New England.
Let him be great. Anyways, show's over, right?
Yes.
I'm good. All right. Last but not least, this thing is telling me, everybody, social medias, these people want to follow you. They like you. Raj, you're first.
Facebook, Roger Lee Herring. Instagram, Herring Moore. Please follow me. D.
All right.
That was convincing.
Facebook, Demar's Analyst D. And on Twitter, the Flex on 1.
That's what?
Nice.
Byron.
Sounds like a team play over there.
BKD_1 on Snapchat and Instagram at BKD_TV. And the website, of course, you know.
Oh, Crevante.
Facebook, Crevante Hurd, CREVONTE, HURDE on Facebook and Twitter. And Instagram, Crevante_H.
And you, Dre.
Facebook, Andre Melton.
See how he laughs at him, but you agree with him.
No, because you started laughing. I let the man do his thing.
I didn't laugh till
Dre,
he started
continue.
laughing.
Thank you.
I
Because
didn't
you do
I
start
didn't laugh
laughing as
till
soon
he
as
started laughing.
Because what you
I
do
didn't say
is
anything.
you'll start looking at the whole room.
Yeah,
like
she's
you
an
waiting
agitator.
for-
You guys are
I'm
so
not
silly.
You instigator.
I laughed once he started laughing. He is my problem. Go ahead.
Again, Facebook is Andre Melton. Twitter is Be More and Show Off. And my IG is
That's
Black
a nice Twitter
American
name, by the
Dream.
way. It's a nice
Thank
Twitter
you.
name. I don't know if anybody's told you.
Okay, thank you. Got to rep the home team.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah?
And you can find me on Facebook.
What home team is that again?
Hey, I'm from Baltimore, baby, all day. 410.
Oh, gosh. You like Philly. You like Cal. I'm
Like the Browns.
Oh, man.
Johnny.
And you can find me on Facebook. That's Mykel Ramos, MYKELL. And on Instagram at Mykel Sade, MYKELLSADE. Okay. Don't forget to like us on our Facebook page, The Flex Zone. Follow us on Twitter and follow us on Instagram at The Flex Zone 1, where you can also find Dig. Check us out on YouTube, our YouTube channel, The Flex Zone. You have any questions, ideas, or possibly want to be a guest, please, you can always send us an email to theflexzone1@gmail.com. Tonight's show is executively produced and engineered by Andre Melton. Our associate producers are moi and Crevante Hurd. The Flex Zone can be heard on SoundCloud, iTunes, Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Arena Sports Network at www.arenasportsnet.com, as well as our new station, yay! Positive Power 21. Shout out to those guys, which can be heard by going to www.positivepower21.org. The Global Christian Radio, powered by Spreaker Radio, can be heard Wednesdays between 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. Wow. Get them twice. Additionally, you can catch us on Thursdays at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time on the NWA Sports Report on WEAA 88.9 FM. I've hosted. I've been on. So has Byron. So have Devontae. And so has Dre all the time, every time.
And the Raiders won. Shout out to
And Sean is
Sean
gonna
Yost.
be ecstatic. I might not be there this week, but you guys will be fine. Anyways, we'd like to wait before we thank Russ. We got something big planned.
Huh?
Yeah, we got something big planned, don't we?
I thought it was something on Monday. Oh, that's right. I gotta go to work Monday. Okay.
I wasn't even talking about that, sir.
Oh,
I was
continue.
talking about what the show has planned
Really?
in October. And just the mere fact that you can pretend like you can forget it is the mere fact that you remember. Anyways, October 27th to be exact, we'll be broadcasting. You know how we always say we're live? We'll really be live. Birdland, Bar and Grill, Baltimore, Maryland.
They can reach out and touch.
East Side.
They can reach out and touch us.
They might.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
You got your groupies out there, right?
No.
Groupies. I can't even spell groupies.
Some of that groupie love.
You got them.
Then that's right. The Ravens are
Hey,
calling
man, I
things.
might. Shoot, I ain't even going to
Yeah.
front.
NBA tip-off night.
NBA tip-off.
Oh,
be
yeah,
talking
that's
some
what's up.
NFL. Some specials going on in there. Get you some 50-cent wings. Please come out and join us. Please, if you want any more information about that, I told you, the email, attheflexzone1@gmail.com. Please go so we can give you that. We'd like to thank our guest, Russ DeLynn. He was great. And as always, until next time, continue to listen to the Flex Zone. I don't care if it rhymes. I'm still going to say, I'm McHale like Kevin McHale. And guys, we're done. It's over. Another Tuesday. Bye.
Like that. We gone.
Peace. And amen.
Deuces.
And don't smoke the weed then.
But stay on the weed then, as the Cowboys will
Happy
be all
birthday,
right.
McHale. Ah.
That's right. Get off the hopium, everybody.
Oh, God.
Stay on the weed in.
Peace.